Hello everybody, welcome to this next video on linear algebra. So in the last video we saw that if t from v to v is a linear operator whose characteristic and minimal polynomial are factored into linear factors, then t is t1 direct sum t2 direct sum tr, where ti is ni plus lambda I, where ni was the nilpotent operator of index mi. Right, so this is what we have seen in the last video. If you are looking this video, then for sure you should have looked at the last video first, then only you will understand the things. Okay, so next we have the following theorem about nilpotent operators. So what is the theorem about nilpotent operators, which we have already proved? That suppose n from v to v is a nilpotent operator of index k, then n has a unique block diagonal representation consisting of Jordan nilpotent blocks. What are Jordan nilpotent blocks? They are the blocks where you have 0 everywhere, and on the super diagonal, the diagonal which is above the main diagonal, that is called the super diagonal, you have ones, right? So this, we are saying that you have Jordan nilpotent blocks. So it means that n has a representation like this, where on the diagonal you have Jordan nilpotent blocks, right? And there is one more condition, that there is at least one block of size k which is the index of the nilpotent operator, and all the blocks are of size less than equal to k, and total number of blocks is equal to nullity of n. This is the theorem which we already have. Now you see, if we apply this theorem on this ni here, this is ni here, right? So if you apply your theorem here, so let us see what we will get. We are saying, since ni is a nilpotent operator of index mi, so we can choose a basis of the subspace wi. Actually ni was an operator from on a restriction on a subspace of v. So you had t from v to v, and then ni is from wi to wi, where wi is this space kernel of ti minus lambda I raised to power mi, right? So we can choose a basis of this space in which ni has a canonical form, right? Canonical form means we are saying that it has a diagonal representation consisting of Jordan nilpotent blocks on the diagonal, right? And in this basis, if you look at the matrix representation of ti, that will be this Jordan blocks, nilpotent blocks, plus lambda I into I. So what you will get, you see, you have a nilpotent block, it looks like this. I'm just taking 2 cross 2, plus this lambda I, that will be lambda I 0 0. So you'll get lambda I 0 1. So what is this? This is Jordan block. This here is Jordan nilpotent block, and this here is Jordan block. So it means that in the basis where ni has this representation, Jordan nilpotent block, ti has Jordan block representation, right? So what we get that these all the ti's, for sure there are bases of wi's in which ti's has a representation, diagonal representation, where diagonal entries are Jordan blocks, right? And again everything is like this, that there is at least one Jordan block of size mi, and all other Jordan blocks are less than of size less than equal to mi, right? So let us see where we reach. We reach that t is, we already have seen, t1 plus t2 plus tr, right? And t1 is restricted to space w1, t2 is restricted to space w2, tr is restricted to space wr, and there are bases of w1, w2, wr, with respect to which t1, t2, tr have block diagonal representations, right? Let us call these representations as m1, m2, mr, right? So m1, m2, mr are the block diagonal representation where on the diagonal you have Jordan blocks, right? So next we have this result, that if t from v to v is linear, and suppose v is direct sum of t invariant subspaces, say w1, w2, wr, and ai is the matrix representation of t restricted to wi, that is ai is the matrix representation of ti, then t has a matrix representation where you will put a1, a2, ar on the diagonal, right? So according to this, what you will get, you see, your t is t1, t2, tr, So this has a representation where you have Jordan blocks on the diagonal. Then this is suppose corresponding to T1. So T2 again has a representation where it has Jordan blocks on the diagonal, right, and so on. TR again has a representation where it has Jordan blocks on the diagonal. So this is for TR. So ultimately this is the representation of T. So this is a representation where you have Jordan blocks on the diagonal. So this is in Jordan canonical form. So what are the properties of here? Here you are saying this there is at least one block of size m1 and all others are of size less than equal to m1. Here there is at least one block of size m2 and all others of size less than equal to m2, and so on, right? And here we are also saying that total number of blocks is equal to nullity of n. So here the number of blocks is nullity of this T1. This is number of blocks, how many blocks, that will be nullity of T2. Here number of blocks will be nullity of TR. So these things we will see later on, okay, when we will write the Jordan canonical form of a matrix, when we will do the problems, right? So this is the step which tells you that whenever your characteristic and the minimal polynomials are factored into linear factors, then you always have a basis with respect to which the matrix representation of T is a Jordan canonical matrix, or it is in a Jordan canonical form. Thank you.